Good morning, students. Today I'll take up the remaining topics of the agriculture chapter, which mainly focuses on the governmental efforts to improve the agriculture sector and the impacts of globalization. So I'll start with governmental efforts to modernize agriculture. Students, because agriculture is the mainstay of Indian economy, it is the backbone of Indian economy. That is why government has taken up many steps to improve agricultural production, to fulfill the needs of the countrymen and to attain self-sufficiency. Under this, the first step was establishment of Indian Council of Agricultural Research and agricultural universities, veterinary services, animal breeding centers, horticulture development, research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecast, etc. Because all these efforts help the farmers to plan for their agricultural operations in a better manner and provides them with all the modern things like the high yielding varieties of seeds or better quality animals, better quality manures and fertilizers to them. Secondly, improvement in rural infrastructure. Students, the roads and railway links, they are being established with the rural areas, which helps the farmers to provide these crops or these raw materials which are produced in the rural areas to the nearby urban centers where they are used as raw materials in the agro-based industries. So it helps in improving their financial status. Thirdly, reduction in import duties on agricultural products. There is a reduction which helps the farmers to access the high yielding varieties of seeds or even the machines and tools from other areas as well, thus putting less financial pressure on them. Next topic I'll take up, Indian agriculture has started a declining trend in the food production. Students, this is a fact that due to the development of secondary and tertiary activities and also the involvement of more physical labor and more efforts in the field of agriculture, many people are giving up agriculture and they are shifting towards secondary and tertiary sectors. That is one part. Secondly, people are also reducing their investment in the production of food grains. Rather, they are now more interested in the cash crops like fruits and vegetables or oil seeds and industrial crops, because this helps them to fetch better income for themselves. Secondly, reduction in land under cultivation. Sorry for this spelling mistake. Reduction in land under cultivation, because the non-agricultural use of land is increasing, like land under the construction, roads, railways, schools, colleges, offices is increasing, so the land under farming is declining. Thirdly, the lack of inputs. There is a shortage of HYV seeds, fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides due to different reasons. At times it is due to financial reasons, lack of money with the farmers, and at times due to non-availability because they are not available in large quantities. So many farmers are still dependent on natural fertility of the soil and the traditional seeds for their cultivation. Next topic is factors which are responsible for low yield of crops per hectare in India. Children, it is a fact that the per hectare production of crops is decreasing. It is mainly due to the over dependence on monsoon, because many areas are still devoid of the irrigation facilities. Secondly, many farmers are still using the old and traditional technologies, so it is increasing the pressure on land because that leads to lower productivity. Then, small land holdings. As we have discussed earlier, because of the fragmentation of land, because of the partition and division of land among the next generation, the land holdings are becoming smaller in size and uneconomical. Then, Inadequate credit and marketing facilities. Though the government has provided loan facilities to the farmers through the banking system as well as through the cooperative societies, but still we find that many a times these villagers, due to illiteracy or due to any other reason, they are still taking the loans from the money lenders or the landlords, leading to the problems. Next topic is consequences of reduction in land under cultivation. What is the result if the land under cultivation is declining? See, our population is increasing, and naturally increasing area under other uses also leads to lower quantity of land under cultivation, a decline in land under cultivation. And naturally it is going to negatively affect the food grain production, because if the land is decreasing, then naturally the productivity is negatively affected. And this also leads to low per capita land. The share of land is decreasing. The only method to solve the problem is to grow high value crops like fruits and vegetables, because this will increase the income of the farmers and they can easily import the cereals or the food grains from other parts of the world. Next, I'll take up the governmental efforts to help the farmers. See, we have already discussed this part, that land reforms were implemented by the government, like abolishing the zamindari system. Those landlords, they were made to distribute their land among the landless farmers, and landless farmers were now in a position to work for their own selves. Consolidation of land holdings, those small uneconomical land holdings, they were consolidated into the economically viable sizes. Grant of lands to the landless workers was done by the government. And next, construction of irrigation schemes. I told you earlier that multi-purpose river valley projects, they were established by the government to provide irrigation facilities to the dry and the semi-dry regions of the country to increase agricultural production. The government also provides subsidies to the farmers. Subsidies means the prices are lowered for the farmers. Even the rate of interest on loans for the farmers is less, and the high yielding varieties of seeds or fertilizers and pesticides and insecticides are also provided at a lower cost. Then high yielding varieties of seeds and agricultural universities, they were established, where the research is being carried out regularly and they try to improve the quality of the seeds. Next, public procurement system and agricultural price commissions were established by the government. That means the price commission basically functions to set the prices for the agricultural products so that the farmers are not exploited by the traders. And public procurement system means the government is themselves involved in buying the food grains from the farmers. So the farmers are not supposed to go here and there for selling their products. They can directly go to the government market and they can sell it to the government also. Then next is crop insurance schemes were started by the government, and agricultural finance was being provided by the government at a lower rate of interest. Crop insurance helps the farmers to safeguard themselves against the losses caused due to the different types of climatic conditions like droughts or due to the floods, and helps farmers to maintain their financial status. Then free trade in grains was allowed by the government, leading to massive employment also, and also reduction in poverty among the farmers, because now farmers can easily sell their products to anyone they want within the country or even export it. Next is actually, because we are talking again and again about high yielding varieties of seeds, what is the importance of these HYV seeds we need to understand. See, they help in increasing the productivity. Okay, as wheat production, this is just one fact given to you, it has increased from 26.7 million tons in 1950-51 to 65.9 million tons in 1998-99. So this is one fact given to you which proves that agricultural production has increased because of use of high yielding varieties of seeds. The HYV has short duration period, means they ripen up faster, they grow up faster, so two crops can be raised in one season. Then, what is the importance of machines to the agriculture sector? We all can understand it reduces our physical labor, and at the same time it helps in sowing the seeds, or even the harvesting and threshing can be done with the help of machines. This naturally the machine. Importance of biotechnology. Students, biotechnology helps in modifying the crops genetically to increase the yield per hectare. Like the cultivation of the production of high yielding varieties of seeds is done under biotechnology. The crops thus produced are more resistant to the insects, pests, and the diseases, thus reducing the use of insecticides and the pesticides. These crops they require less water and reduces the cost of production, and also helps in improving the environment. Next topic is gene revolution. Though they are interconnected with each other, it basically talks about the genetic engineering, which is powerful supplement in inventing new high yielding varieties of seeds, hybrid varieties of seeds, and it is practiced without a factory made chemical. It does not affect the environment negatively and definitely helps in improving the agricultural productivity. Okay, students, the next topic is green revolution. I hope you have heard about it. In economics also you must have studied about it. Green revolution basically is the improvement, large scale improvement in the production of the crops, especially wheat and rice were benefited due to this. It was brought about because of use of modern methods of farming, which actually includes the use of high yielding varieties of seeds, irrigation, manures, insecticides and pesticides, and large scale use of machines. This brought about large scale increase in the agricultural production. Students, there were different types of impacts of green revolution, no doubt positive as well as negative. On one side, it increased production of food grains and resulted in self-sufficiency in India. But on the other side, it also resulted in shift of farmers from subsistence farming to the commercial farming. Now farmers want to grow crops which fetch them a better income. It raised the standard of living of the farmers because it increased their income. It has encouraged the growth of agro-based industries because of the regular supply of the agricultural products. It helped to change the attitude of the farmers because farmers actually had begun to think that they cannot change their misfortune, but now because of use of modern methods, because of adoption of new technology, they could also improve their financial status because of increase in productivity of the crops. Students, the next topic is food security. You have to understand, increase in agricultural production directly affects the food security. The number of people who do not have food security is very large in some regions, especially eastern UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. There are many areas, parts of Rajasthan, parts of Gujarat, parts of Madhya Pradesh also. And it also leads to poor economic status of the people. The remote areas are more prone to disasters and uncertainty in the food supplies because naturally they are more affected by the climatic conditions and so the agricultural productivity. What are the objectives of India's food security that we have to understand? First of all, no doubt to ensure availability of the food grains to the common people, that too at an affordable price. Because not only that the food grains have to be provided to the people in general, but that should be at a lower cost. and all of you must be knowing about it, that through the fair price shops, the government is providing the food grains to the people at a lower cost to enable poor people to have access to the food. This is one of the important objectives, so that the poor people do not suffer the food insecurity. Growth in agricultural production, because if we are naturally, if the government is involved in buying the food grains from the farmers, as they have to maintain a buffer stock, so it indirectly also encourages the agricultural production, because now the farmers know that if they are producing surplus quantities, it will be absorbed in the market. Then fixing the support prices for the procurement of wheat and rice, that is being done by the government to safeguard the farmers against exploitation by the middlemen. To maintain the stock of food grains, Food Corporation is responsible for procuring and stocking the food grains, and distribution is ensured by the public distribution system. As I told you, fair price shops are a part of it. These are the main components of the national food security system. First is the buffer stock. That means the stock which is maintained by the government to be provided to the poor people, or to ensure food security through the public distribution system, which is the cooperative societies. Public distribution system, as I said, it is actually helping the government in providing the essential commodities to the poor people at lower cost, that is affordable prices, at subsidized cost through the governmental agencies. Okay, students, this is the last topic of the chapter, but very important, because time and again questions have been asked on this topic, the impacts of globalization on agriculture. But before we start with the impacts, you have to remind yourself, because I know you have studied in economics about globalization. Globalization is basically creating a global economy. That means opening up the borders to the international trade, import and export. When there is a free trade policy of the government, it has positive as well as the negative impacts on the agriculture sector, just like the other sectors. So we'll start with the positive impacts first. See, first of all, it is supposed to improve the production of food grains and improve the social and economic conditions of the farmers, because now farmers can easily buy the high yielding varieties of seeds, or buy the machinery or other inputs, agricultural inputs from the other countries also, which are required for their agricultural productivity or efficiency, improving the efficiency of the agriculture sector. And at the same time, they are also in a position to export their food grains at better prices to the other countries. It will also improve the efficiency of the workers, because now the farmers will be having an easy access to the machines. Then easy access to high yielding varieties of seeds, as they can be easily imported from other areas as well. The farmers will be in a position to import the good varieties of animals also from other countries, so that will also improve their efficiency. And it will improve the export in the agricultural products, because now the farmers are no more required to get a license for their exports. But as I said, there are some negative impacts also, so we have to understand the negative impacts also. To ensure that the quality goods at competitive prices alone will survive, means when we have to compete at an international level, definitely we have to grow good quality crops, only then they will find an international market. The traditional seeds or traditional cropping patterns will not be able to survive. Farmers will be compelled to use the advanced technology and greater inputs of capital, means they will be compelled to use the high yielding varieties of seeds, manures, pesticides and insecticides to improve agricultural production. And this will put immense pressure on the agricultural land also, because for maximizing their profits, they will try to maximize the agricultural production also. Next, under the agreement, government will have to reduce the subsidies being provided to the farmers. At present, the farmers were getting subsidies for buying the high yielding varieties of seeds as well as for buying the fertilizer or agricultural machinery also, but the government will have to reduce these subsidies, has already started reducing these subsidies to match with the international standards, because other countries, they are not giving any subsidies to their farmers. So that will definitely increase the financial pressure on the farmers. Many multinational companies may enter the market, means the agriculture sector, and it will also be very difficult for the poor farmers of India to compete with them, because they come with better financial status. And increased competition with developed countries will also lead to problems due to the highly subsidized agriculture in some countries. Thank you so much.